Hey guys, this is MIKKO from MO Sound Lab, and this is MIKKO Mega Green and Original. Let's check it out. Okay, and if you're completely new to the entire MIKKO plugin line, I'll quickly go through the features. The MIKKO plugin is a mic up plugin for your guitar cabinet, and we already have quite many releases that we've done with the MIKKO plugin. This time the Mega cabinets, Mega Green and Mega Original will be released together, and the power of the MIKKO plugin is insanely huge. So essentially what you can do is just bypass the cabinet section of your amp simulator or modeler or whatever and use the MIKKO to mic up the cabinet the way you would want to mic it up. You have complete freedom over how you would even place the microphones, and you can place up to 9 mics on very different cabinets, different mics. You can mix it up, and ultimately once you have your sound that you cannot get out of any IR pack anywhere, you can export and save it as a WAV file, WAV IR, and use it anywhere with any modeler or any IR loader or whatever. So this is kind of definitely the next generation of cabinet simulation, and I'm very proud of this because this is just an idea that I had on vacation one time, and here it is. It's been out for quite a while, but these two cabinets that we just released are some of my favorite from my personal collection, so I'm very happy to have them in the MIKKO format. And just to be clear, you don't have to own any other MIKKO plugins to be able to use these two. And we have a crazy bundle deal for this release right now, so go get it immediately. You do not need to own MIKKO Essentials or the original MIKKO release, just the free player and these add-ons, and you're good to go. So enough talk, let's hear what Mega Green and Mega Original, let's call it Mega OG, sound like together in a mix. So I'm blending a 57 capture of both of these cabinets here, and these are the guitar tone that you're hearing. So as you heard there, first you heard the mix of the Green and the Original, and then I kind of muted them with the MIKKO plugin. So I just used the Green in the mix versus the OG in the mix. So let's have another listen to the specific differences in tone that you get with the Green and the OG. So this is the Green. And this is the OG. And they are both amazing sounding. Bear in mind, we're just using a single 57 capture for this, both of these cabinets, and it's already filling the mix. There's no post EQ. All I'm really doing is using amped CB4 and bypassing the cabinet section, and that's the third channel of that amplifier, amp sim, and that is going directly into the MIKKO plugin. So if I bypass the MIKKO plugin, you will hear the cabless sound. This is what it sounds like. Even though it sounds pretty good, it doesn't have a cabinet on it, it sounds quite distorted. So once you have the MIKKO plugin on, you'll get that real tube amp sound that we're used to with hearing it through a cabinet. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is something that's actually impossible to do in real life. So imagine tracking guitars and not committing to the microphone, kind of the mic up of the cabinet, whereas when you record with real cabinets and amps, you always have to commit to that microphone position. I would be very comfortable committing to an amp setting, but not the mic up, because just a slight movement of the microphone will end up sometimes ruining the entire mix, and you have to EQ and try and rescue it that way. So this is how you can do it with the MIKKO very easily in post. So this is just a 57 on the Mega OG, and I'm gonna be just moving around this one microphone, and you'll hear how big of a difference it makes. And now I even used 2 different cabinets that quickly and placed the microphones that quickly in post. You can completely change the game as far as guitar tones go with this plugin. And like I said, you have 9 mics to choose from. So even now we're actually blending 2 different cabinets with the 57, but one of these microphones may as well be the 160. Why not? And now it sounds like this. Or what if I want to try something else, like a 421? And if you're wondering what a 421 on a green speaker would sound like with the V30 that's on the OG, it's just this quick. And now I'm already fine-tuning the microphone positions to fit each other. Just imagine doing this in real life, having 2 cabinets, one mic on the other, one on the other, and then trying to move these microphones so that they fit each other better in the mix. It's impossible or very, very difficult to do. Whereas with a plugin like this, it's just super easy. And we're still only using 2 microphones. We can add a 3rd mic in. And let's, for example, put it on something completely different, that like an Anger cabinet that we have here, and maybe use a 7B. And now we have a 3rd cabinet. Just plugging in a 3rd cabinet into the same amplifier actually is impossible, I think. But anyways, kind of blending this 3rd cabinet into this tone and using this instead of trying to rely on EQ and post-processing to get a sound that ultimately will not sound natural. So once again, we have 3 different cabinets here, 3 different mics. So that's definitely something very cool, something that no one has ever been able to do before the MIKKO plugin existed. And like I said before, like if you find that sound that you really like, you can take it out from the MIKKO plugin by just exporting an IR in the format that you want. So you can use it in your Mahler if you have a Fractal, XFX, if you have a Helix, if you have a Kemper even, you can do it. Just find your sound or many sounds, make as many awesome IR mixes as you can and just throw them out into your Mahler. I haven't even started to cover all the functions of the MIKKO plugin, so I'll just quickly go through them. On top of just placing microphones 360 around the cabinet, you can also pull the mics back. So right now these have all been closed mics, but you can pull the mics back to 16 inches. So if we just use the Mega Green as an example, this is what it sounds like, and I'm starting to pull the mic back. So So pulling the mic back actually makes it sound a little bit more vintage, a little bit thinner, which is also good for a mix. situation. Now the cool thing here is that in real life, if you pull one of the mics back, you will have insane phase issues. In here, that's not a problem. The way we've done this is that you will have no phase issues. Everything is time aligned perfectly, even though we're using the raw IR format that we have here. So these are not MPT'd IRs, super geeky, but most impulse responses out there have been minimum phase transformed, which means that the phase information of the impulse responses and that mic up will be destroyed, deleted, which means is how the mics blend with each other and how the guitar tone actually blends in the mix will be very different if the sounds are minimum phase transformed, as in MPT'd. So something to consider. I haven't even covered the impedance and cut section. You have low cut here. So if you're, for example, in this case, mixing this guitar tone, you can add low cut to your sound. You can add high cuts. And depending on what kind of amp modeling you're using, you can add impedance. We're using amped plugins which model the entire tube amplifier. You have impedance already modeled in the kind of the amp section, but some modelers and some amp sims do not have impedance modeled in the amplifier. So what you can do is add impedance of the most common kind of cabinets or speakers that you'll be using. So having the impedance at 100%, you can see it's adding some low resonance impedance in there, kind of like the resonance and presence controls on an amplifier. And same for the high resonance. Obviously, with this being flexible, we can go up to 200%, so you can double that realistic impedance and get even more awesome sound. So you can actually use this almost as a post EQ. So let's have a listen to what that sounds like. So it's scooping the guitar tone even more in a very realistic way. Once again, once you export the IR, all of these settings will be baked into that IR, which is also very cool. So you can kind of have a polished sound and you'll be ready to go immediately once you start using those IRs that you made yourself. So this is your custom Impulse Response Studio, and this latest edition is two of my very favorite cabinets from my cabinet collection. So that's the Mega Green and Mega OG. Go check them out. And right now we have an insane deal going on as the intro deal and a bundle deal. If you get both of these, you get them for, I mean, you need to go get them right now. And that's pretty much it. Go check out the MIKKO plugin, one of my proudest innovations that I came up with. And I'm very happy with how well it actually works. It can be used on real tube amplifiers like these. Use them with something like the reactive load. It can be used with any modeler. Just disable the cabinet section and use the MIKKO. Super easy to use and you get awesome, authentic guitar tones. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you subscribe and super like 100 times all the videos that I have, it would really mean the world to me, because I mean, this entire video channel and this one video is the entire world to me. Thank you so much for watching the video. See you guys on the next one. Bye bye.